Cool. Well, welcome back to Inbound After Hours.
Back again. I think I say that at the start of every episode we do.
It's our trademark intro.
Yeah, not done one for a while. There's a lot of podcasts going out at the moment.
There is.
We are a podcast machine. Jonathan's doing a great job.
Podcast network, some would say.
That's what it's called these days, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
I think we're talking about why we choose to teach our clients the things we do. Why we show them what we do and how we do it, which probably is quite a different approach to most agencies out there and most ways of any professional services company working.
So why we teach them everything we do, show them the inner workings of Digital 22. It seems, whether you're in agency world or not, that seems quite common sense, but it's actually not. And I think it's a good topic to go through. I think it's something we've probably always done, but maybe not as obviously as we thought. And I think the last year or two, we've tried to make a concerted effort for that to be literally part of how we work with people, part of not just the internal culture here, but externally with clients. We want that to be known. We want that to be a point of difference. Like you said, it isn't that common. I'm really pleased that we're doing that at the moment, and I've seen the benefits of it. So yeah, to go back to my sort of timeline here, I've obviously been here a long time and worked with lots of different clients in lots of different ways. The ones that succeed, not just from a results perspective, but like an engagement and an enjoyment, are the ones where they've wanted to take on a little bit, they've wanted to learn, they've wanted to be shown how to use the tools we use, and do their own stuff. And I think you could be hesitant to that, or you could have a bit of a worry, or like I said, a hesitance to what they're going to do with that. But I think 99.9% of the time it's for the greater good, and those people's results speak for themselves. The ones that are able to understand what we do, it not only helps us get buy into what we're doing anyway, but I think it's such a better outlook and approach to empower clients and anyone to do what we do as well.
I think it's an easy road to go down, and the most typical road to go down to keep that stuff for yourself. I think of something like SEO. I guess a client's probably expectation is my results are going to go up, and while my results go up, who kind of cares what's going on behind the scenes a little bit, which plays probably into the typical agency insecurity of, if I give away the secret sauce, they'll go and make their own, and then you won't need us anymore. So I think both parts of the way this industry works lends itself to not being open and transparent with those things. And I think you've hit the nail on the head, I guess, where we've always had this ethos, but we just kind of put a label on it recently, which then makes you live it a little bit more once you put a name on it and labelled it. And I think since we've done that, we've just found other ways to incorporate it into the way we work and to make it more tangible to the client, other than just being like, this is something we kind of do because we're that type of person. Yeah. Now this is our agency way of working, and let's all get on board with it.
Yeah, it's not a show them if they ask or if they're interested. We are literally going to make sure you know how to do this, and we're going to show you our working because, hey, you need to understand the result, you need to understand how we get there, you need to understand the value we're delivering as well. And I think showcasing the process and the detail is a great way of doing that. This whole thing, it's kind of like, I feel it's not like the transparency we have with reporting and project management. It's a different thing. It's not an education thing. That's a transparency thing, which has been from day one. You've always wanted to do it that way, and I think that's something that I particularly like about the way we work. And it's kind of trying to tick off those old archetypes of like old agencies, as you said, and the things that are a bit rubbish and a bit like agency. We're trying to like get rid of as much of that stuff and kind of be as human and honest and transparent and level-headed with everyone that we work with. And I think that is a great next step to that, which is the education piece. We know the inbound digital marketing. Like, we are learning so much and bringing in so much new stuff. We've got to take the clients on that journey with us. Results come, and some results come immediately, some take time. But I think, again, from a value add for a client, if we are educating and teaching, like, people literally want that from us as well. You know, business owners or CEOs have marketing teams, have HubSpot. They've got the capabilities and then super clever people in their business, but they literally want us to train them up, and they want us to show them how to use the tool. And I think that is a no-brainer. So I really like that approach, and I like to find these things. I'm sure there's something else that we're not doing yet that might be something for next year that we can sort of break down and bake into our sort of ethos and our USP. So I think it's nice to do that. Trying to think now, like, for the year ahead and where we are going with it. We've got a lot of other stuff going on. It's not just client signs with us. We train them on HubSpot. We're trying to do more. And we've obviously got the training itself that you can still join. I think we're past halfway now on that.
Session 9 last week.
Yeah, well remembered. I'm trying to think now, like, what's the next 12 months looking like? Where are we trying to take that and the ethos itself? I think we're still...
It's an evolution, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think looking at the key word I pulled out from that is, I think how we got to where we're at is because we're very journey focused. Like, we genuinely as a business are interested in how we get where we're going is the journey rather than the destination. I think the same for clients. Like, we want to take clients on a journey and enjoy that journey, and that's what brought, if we rewind it back like you did, to the transparency, like that was part of making this a more enjoyable journey for both our sides. Like, easy for us to create a report that says we're doing well, but there's 1,000 metrics in inbound and you can pick 5 that are going up quite easily. But it just made the journey more enjoyable by having agreed KPIs, somewhere they could reference. You don't have to ask us for the data. They can self-serve a little bit. Same with the project management system. It's like, makes the journey good for both sides. They know what's going on, what day and who and why, but the agency benefit to it is it feels tangible, and, you know, there's real people doing real things. And then if something's late, like, you can relate to, well, Bob was on holiday last week, like, you don't mind that being a day away, or it brings that sort of human element into it. And then the education's been an extension of that. Better for us, better for the journey if the client knows what we're talking about. We can have more informed conversations if we refer to tools or techniques or industry terminologies or whatever it is. We can all move faster and enjoy it more if they're on par with us, and we're having conversations like peers rather than like talk to someone that's from a completely different background in industry. I think looking into the future, it's how do we do more of that? How do we enhance the journey that we're on through this ethos? And as you mentioned, the big initiative we had for this year, for 2021, was, okay, we do all of this great education for clients as part of their journey. Now, how do we bring that to the wider HubSpot industry, whether they're paying us money or not? How do we up the skill of the industry? There's a lot of people, when we did this, out there on furlough who perhaps were getting a little bit stagnant. There's a lot of people out there who are one-man bands or sole marketers who've got no one to bounce off. So when we created the Inbound After Hours community, that was to bring those people together. And then this year we said, right, once a month we're going to train on a particular subject of inbound and HubSpot. We're up to about 600 people signed up to that now. And that was our initiative for this year for education. Looking forward, what does that look like again? I'm not 100% sure, but that's the lens I'd look at it from, is how do we use education to make the inbound world, the HubSpot world, more enjoyable for us all.
Yeah, and that's going to depend on, like you say, how the training goes. I'm sure we're going to get feedback from those, and as we always do, reaching out to clients and seeing what they actually want. For me, I think we've done it was kind of through the lens of COVID and lockdown, the digital... the online learning, the online community, that's going to continue, I'm sure. We're finally getting back out to see clients, which is amazing, slowly but surely. For me, that the evolution of that looks like more in-person being with clients, like not just sitting in our office, as lovely as it is, you know, whether they come here or going out to people and connecting more humanly, and doing that training and that upskilling. I really like the training group that we have at the moment. Like you say, super diverse group of people, some who are not even doing inbound yet, and they're sort of skilling up to get a job in a business that is doing it. And again, it's that nurturing them, that early talent as well, and bringing them through, that benefits everyone. Like the more inbound marketers we have in the UK, the better that is for the industry and the movement and the growth of it in businesses. So trying not to look at it through that end goal really, because the reality is we just enjoy doing it, and we always have. But trying to merge those. Hopefully we can get back to the events, love inbound, things like that. I
think when I like those are the. I think I have. There's kind of three key things when I look at the future. Yeah, the in-person event, which we do love inbound. We'll probably plan it again for next spring. And I think that's a key part of not only education, but also making a sort of experience of the industry better. I think we're at a time now where people are kind of itching to get back out to those sorts of things. I had a chat with MD of a company who runs events, and they said they've just launched their first major event since lockdown, and they've got record really? Numbers. Nice. I asked, are people nervous, like holding back or whatever? And she's like, no, record numbers. Particularly things which have anything to do with networking and being around people and catching back up with people in the industry. Said they've just gone through the roof. So I think people are really keen for that. And I think being in the marketing industry, people are a little bit hesitant to get back into those things. So if we can start that ball rolling, I'm sure next year will be a big year for in-person events, and we want to be at the forefront of that for sure. Yeah, which I'm really looking forward to. Like it's such a events in general, or it's such a good way to rapidly learn a lot of things from top people, but also actually super enjoyable way of doing it, where it works well with my brain of like, I need that motivation of something going on to stay engaged. If I just sat the equivalent time watching a video, as much as I love video, like I can't watch 8 hours of it off the bat. Like I'll switch off. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure there's a lot of other people the same.
Yeah, I think if going back to sort of like how we approach it as an agency, and like, I do genuinely think it's a bit different to how some other, like how other service providers have worked in the past. I don't think it's like the biggest USP in the world, and I'm pretty sure other people go down this route. It's a supernatural way to work, and like a lot of these things, people catch up and start to follow suit. But I think if you're in a situation now where you are you're working with vendors and they're doing stuff that you need, and that's great and it's going well, I would suggest like just trying to work closer and ask like how is that working. And it's quite a good litmus test on that relationship to see how comfortable is someone with that. Definitely not saying go out and speak to all your agencies and get them to send you all the details, but it's that I feel that's a much better way of working, and it's how I would, if I was on the other side, it's something that I'd be interested in, because as an in-house marketer or sales leader, you're gonna need to justify the process, justify the investment, and justify the results. We're another podcast, but we're not far off budget chats and all that sort of stuff for next year. But the better you know the process, the better you can justify the spend. And I think that's a win-win for us. If you're on that side, understanding exactly what we do, like great. And equally for you in your own growth and your own knowledge and your own confidence in strategies and plans and stuff like that you're working on with people like us. I think it's just a really good thing to think about doing and think about working on and getting a deeper understanding of processes that your agencies are actually running.
You're equipping yourself, aren't you, for, like you say, for conversations in all parts of business. And if you take that mantra, this isn't just an agency to client thing. Like you could easily take this mantra as an in-house person, either as an individual or department, and the better understanding other departments and individuals have of what you do and how you've done it is only going to take pressure off, create empathy, but also enhance your reputation and career as well. I'm thinking if you're if you're a person writing blogs and like we write blogs, you're going an MD will flippantly say down the line, why does that take 4 hours or whatever it takes you, half a day? Surely it's just writing 1,000 words, that takes me an hour. Like someone will flippantly say something like that at some point in the line, and I'm sure we've had those conversations ourselves. If you've talked to the other people about what you actually do to get that end result, and they start to understand, okay, someone's actually got to go in a keyword research tool, you've got to find out what people are searching for, what questions they need to ask, you've got to turn that into a title which is clickable, you've then got to go away, do research on the topic, find the best sources, create a bit of a bullet point list of how you want this to flow, then you've got to write it. It's not very easy to edit your own work, so you probably want someone else to like have a look over it, give you some feedback and some pointers from a third person perspective. You've got to implement that feedback. You've got to take that blog, you've got to upload it to HubSpot, you've got to find suitable imagery, you've got to style up your headers and blah, blah, blah. But if you said that to someone, no one's going to go, well, that should take an hour, because it obviously wouldn't.
Just checking that's the exact process we go through blogs. Well done there.
Yeah,
you got it spot on.
Literally,
steps.
Someone's
double check.
I'm reading from project management system.
That's well remembered. That.
It is.
Yeah, nice.
We've done enough blogs at this point to know that one.
Razza will be very proud.
He would be.
Yeah.
But like I say, if you're an in-house writer and other people have the understanding of that, what they can think is, wow, I just thought you wrote words. I didn't realise you could understand our market and what people are searching for, and I didn't think you thought about, is that title clicky, and like it's not just literally writing 1,000 words.
What I found, just as you've been speaking then, I think clients definitely they think it's super mysterious, or you're just clicking a button and it just populates, and it not like they're not thinking, oh, it's dead easy necessarily, but it's almost like, oh, you're doing something like sneaky, or you're doing this, or you're scraping it from here, or that. And when you actually break it down for people, like we have people that do research, like we're hands on doing this stuff, and it isn't a flick of a switch and you pay us all that money and actually it doesn't. You can do it in the car on the way down to the meeting, sort of stuff. It isn't that, and there's an intrinsic value in that, not just education, so you can go and do it yourself, which we love. There's the value for us as an agency to justify what we do and to showcase, like you say, it's not just 2 clicks and that's the work done for the month. It's genuine work every day, every week, and that's really important, because again, one of the old sort of tropes of digital marketing, isn't it, that smoke and mirrors with SEO, like no one really knows what you're doing, and they think you're just hacking Google and look
at like the Matrix.
I've got to pay all this money and you're just changing a bit of code and it just does something to my website, and it's just when you boil it down, it isn't as fancy, and it's still people. We're still creating content, we're publishing it, we're optimizing it, we're looking at how it's doing, and that's happening all the time, and that's what you've got to get across. So yeah, that's a bit of a selfish reason, but a good one for us of why we like to do it as well.
I think look at those other protections it gives you. I think, like say agency or in-house, it doesn't matter. But I can remember us having conversations, I don't know, 5 years or so ago, before we're really good at the education piece, on people saying things like, "Can you just turn it up?" Or like, "Can I have more of those?"
And turn what? The volume?
Yeah,
the results.
The results, to 11. And you're like, it didn't quite work like that. But then did he believe you? I'm not sure.
Turn the tap on.
Turn the tap on and all of this sort of stuff. And you're like, I wish there was one.
Yeah.
Leads tap. Just
where is this tap?
But then you kind of have empathy with them that they don't know. And then I can remember a few times we had a particular client we worked on together where I think they said that to us one week, and then the next day they got a load of leads. So then they thought they told us to turn the tap up, and we said doesn't work like that, but then it did.
The magic words.
Yeah, and then I think I remember the next 20...
Alexa, give me more leads.
The next 20 calls were like, "Can you just do that again?" It's like, didn't actually do anything. That was the thing I did 6 months ago.
Yeah, of course we can.
It's like, but that, like, whether that's like you say the client or your boss or whatever, let them understanding that, oh, I'm doing this, and this is actually a 6 months process, and what I do, whether you tell me to work harder today or not, doesn't impact tomorrow. Whether I do something different today or not, doesn't impact tomorrow. That's all education, is people understanding the processes and the way these things work.
Yeah, it suits me down to a T, that sort of transparency, because the worst thing in the world is to carry around that sort of like presumption of, oh, you can turn the tap on, or you're not, therefore you're not doing it for me now. I think getting it out on the table, super transparent, open, and just being dead honest, it is such an easier way of working for me personally, and I think that translates to like our culture here, and I hope most people here feel that work that way, and are more comfortable working that way. But it's definitely a work in progress, isn't it? I think we've started it, we've launched that ethos, and we want to take people on that journey with us. We go above and beyond to show what we did. We use a lot of that. You'll have heard St. Paul on LinkedIn, with Vidyard, we use a lot of explainers. When we send anything over to you, we will explain it and show it you on a video, why we did it, our thought process. Here's what I did. Here's where I got it from. Here's a spreadsheet. There you go. To be fair, we probably don't expect clients to look at absolutely everything, but hey, it's there if you want to. The end result's here, and we've created that little story, box that off, and we're good to go. And I think
that's a good point to lean into as well for listeners. Like, again, whether you're agency or in-house, if you send something to someone to sign off or to approve, I think a penny dropped with us a few years ago that maybe they don't know what they're approving, or why they're approving it,
or they should approve it,
or what feedback we actually want. So take blogs are easy. Take a persona. Here's a persona. Can you approve it? I think when you get asked that question, it's like, what am I approving? Like, do I like the name Builder Bob? Do I agree that he gets up at 9 a.m. and goes on a commute? Or actually, what we're actually asking for is, are the fundamental assumptions we're making about this person correct? Do they, is this where they research? This is, if you can give us more depth in these areas, this would really help us do better work. I'm not looking for, you missed a comma out of that sentence on this persona sheet. I think just giving people good direction on where they can add value, and realistically what you want signing off, it's
definitely
makes a huge difference.
Yeah, we definitely come a cropper with that, and through no fault of the clients, that's on us to clarify that. But equally, educating the purpose of the document kind of reduces the need to even approve with a microscope. It's kind of like, this is a generalist document, this is like themes, and just, are you okay with the sort of direction we're going with? And that's education on process again. So I think we've been doing it for the last couple of years more persistently and more purposefully, and it's working really well. I think we've got other areas we're going to keep pushing on. I think using the training is a great way to get that out there and get a lot of that knowledge that we've built up out to anyone who's interested, which is the passion we have for learning and sharing. But we'll have to see what the next sort of version of this is, and probably next year, while we can use the in-person side of things to take it to the next level, which I'm pretty excited about. Yeah,
for sure. And just before lockdown, workshops and things like that were big and popular. People coming as either individuals or companies, so I can certainly see that coming back on our horizons to start gauging interest for that. And I think, being specific to our industry, I still think where the gap we're trying to plug with Inbound After Hours and the learning group, which I can link to below. There you go. I've got to do these things. The thing we're trying to do with that, where I still think there's a huge gap in the HubSpot community, is around practical skills, and particularly on tooling and things. Because I think what HubSpot do an amazing job of, and what the HubSpot Academy does really well, is teach you theories of things. Here's why you need inbound marketing. Here's why RevOps is important. It doesn't matter what it is. They do a really good job of that. But then actually saying, right, open a new tab, click this URL, do this. How you actually do it, there's a huge gap there. And the training that we've been focused on this year has been very much if we're doing SEO, here, get your selling mods, check domain authority. If you're trying to look for technical errors, here's how you find them, and here's some of the common resolutions to those. I think that's still really missing in the industry, because I think it's infinitely easier to teach people a theory, and there's probably more people looking for it as well.
It's easier to write as well.
That's what you see. The low-hanging fruit, in all honesty. It's really hard and time-consuming, but super valuable to someone to teach them how to actually sit down in front of a computer and do these things. And I think if we carry the training on into next year, I can just see it keeping that practical element we've had this year, because that's where we've had I think that's why so many people signed up and why we have the success we have with it.
That's the true differentiation or USP of what we're doing, I think, at the moment, which is show like literally QCing people's workflows for them. Like you send us it and we'll look at it for free. Like we'll do the training, but we're not just saying workflows are great and here's a 10-step. Like go and do one, or here's literally a video of where to do it in HubSpot or another tool. And I think I totally agree. I think that's what's missing. And that's why we're doing it. So it'd be interesting to see how that looks next year, and if we can do it in person, that'd be awesome.
I'm sure HubSpot will keep pushing the envelope on that. I know they're releasing certifications like there's no tomorrow. They still do seem to be quite theory based, because I do think that's where the volume is for the academy, and the academy's a good lead gen tool and all of that sort of stuff.
They've got a handful of practical stuff, haven't they, where
they have,
you get stuff sort of checked over, but I'd say 80-90% of it is theory based, which is great awareness stage stuff, isn't it, for them?
You need that before you do the next bit. So it's again, hats off to HubSpot for having a similar ethos on like getting people educated, and that's led to their growth and success, which if you can emulate 1% of, you're doing pretty well.
Absolutely, Cool. How are we wrapping this one up? What links have we got? What options have we got for people to?
We're not good at this stuff, are we?
No,
this is
awful.
we're not
saying as we're marketing. In marketing, it's not the best.
Not good self promoters.
Inbound after hours group in Key.
Yep.
Still going on. How many sessions have we got to go?
Another 4 or 5? 3 or 4 this year, which would be good.
Hugs.
Yep. And the best ones we can
HubSpot
link to.
user group, not
HubSpot user group.
We're not hugging people yet.
We can give out some hugs.
Yeah.
I'll do a virtual hug.
Yeah.
HubSpot user group. We've got 2 more left this year. They're online now, so we run the Manchester HubSpot group, user group, but come everyone, because it's all virtual. So we'll put the links to those on. And then the last one is our video hub, which way you can access all of the past trainings stuff we've done there.
No, that is good. Our video hub on our website has a lot of all the trainings, all the hug stuff, but it's got the how-tos.
I love those 2-3 minutes. How do you add a contact record? How do
I build a workflow? How do I build a form? There's a ton of HubSpot stuff. So everything we spoke about, the stuff we're showing our clients, the stuff we're pushing for those guys to do and learn about, it's all in the video hub. So if you want to have a look at that and see how we do it, and just see that ethos in action, head over to that. We'll include those links too.
Good shout. I'll put those on. Well, Brill, good being back in. Good topic that, and I enjoyed talking about it a bit different as well. So thanks for your time.
All right. See you later.
See you later. Bye.